So, I just watched this video on YouTube. It's called, well, the title of it, if you want to search it, is Asian Man Getting Attacked by 7 Guys Behind a School. It's a video of a young guy, looks like a high school student, getting attacked by a big group of guys, and they're basically just beating him up, punching him, kicking him. I mean, it's an absolutely brutal video. It's absolutely, I mean, it's disgusting what these guys were doing to this this poor fucking kid. And it was a difficult video for me to watch. It definitely took me out of my whatever space I was living in before I saw that, because, you know, so often when you see videos like that, I mean, I tend to have resistance to it, because it's like a fucking reality check. I mean, this is, you know, this shit is going on all the time. I mean, this and worse. This is, I mean, compared to some of the things I've seen in this world, actually, this is like nothing. So, I just find it interesting that that tendency to sort of resist things like that are actually just, you know, this is real life. So what does it mean that we have such a resistance to seeing videos like this? And of course the reaction that came up within me was, or the experience at least that came up within me, was that of absolute disgust, disdain, just absolute condemnation of those actions. And one of the first reactions I had was, these people, these guys that assaulted this guy, that beat him up, they should be killed. They should be euthanized. Because immediately I look at the things they were doing and the things that they were saying, and sort of looked at the entire mentality that is, the entire psychosis that's behind all of those actions. Because that shit is not natural, despite what certain people may want to believe and say. That is not natural. That is not human nature. And if it is human nature, then it is a matter of brainwashing. It's a matter of what we've become, how we've been conditioned. And so I realized the extent of how fucking dangerous and evil some people like this have become, and just how fucking scary that is. I mean, if you go and watch this video, you'll realize you don't want people like this in your world. You won't want to be in the same room with them. You won't want anybody that you know or care about to be in the same room as people like this. And for me, I mean, I don't even want them on the same planet, in the same world. However, I did sort of slow down a little and look at my reaction. And, you know, generally in these kinds of cases, I've come to realize that, given that it is a matter of conditioning, these people have become the way that they've become for a certain reason. I mean, in other words, if I were to place myself in their shoes, I would have had the exact same life experiences and influences that they had, and thus would have turned out exactly the same way they did, and would have been just as capable of doing those things as they are, and would have done those things as they did. There's nothing different about me that way. I don't have some fucking magic soul where I'm somehow a better person, and it's like if I had their life experience and conditioning, like I wouldn't do the same thing. I would. So from that, perspective of equal consideration and putting myself in their shoes, I realized that as those people, I would want to be given every chance. Every possible chance. I mean, even being that fucked up, I would want every chance and every bit of support I could possibly get to get out of that situation, to correct myself, to change myself, to fix myself, to heal myself. I would want that. Because when making a decision within the context of what's best for everybody, even the abuser has to be considered. And the whole fact that the abuser is an abuser as a matter of life conditioning is something that everybody is responsible for, because we're all creating these world conditions that everybody is experiencing and living in. We are all participating within that and equally responsible for that within that point of everybody participating within the same world, the same reality, the same world systems. So, yes, given that the decision would have to be made within the context of what's best for everybody, then even the abuser would want the absolute best, should get the best support that they possibly can. However, if that is not possible, then the best thing for everybody would be to remove this person, because the world would be a safer place. And if there is no way to correct, to change this person, then we know that this person will be a threat. We know that the world is a more dangerous place, is a worse place with this person in the world. And so this is where I would definitely stand for something like euthanasia. I mean, we do it already. We often do it for the wrong reasons. We often do it without actually trying to give all the possible support to the person that we can. And we do it anyway, so I don't really see why anybody would have a problem with it within the context of how I'm presenting it. Because, again, it's something that we're doing in this world already. But another point that I realized when I actually looked at my reaction, because it was an energetic reaction, it was violent in itself, in its nature, this reaction I had, because it was like, fuck, kill these guys, wipe them out, It was definitely like a harsh reaction on my part in that way. And so I looked at that, and it is pretty obvious that, my reaction to this, to seeing this kind of abuse, is definitely reflective of where I am participating in or allowing some form of abuse within and as my own life. And that this desire to, see these guys pay and learn their lesson and kill the abusers, is in fact my own desire to, kill the abuser within me, for the abuser within me to learn a lesson, for the abuser within me to be punished. And this is actually the most effective way that we can directly have an influence and effect on stopping abuse in this world. This is the most effective way, is to stop that point of abuse within and as yourself. Any point of abuse. It doesn't matter the degree of abuse, it doesn't matter the form that the abuse is taking on, it doesn't matter where or when or who it is towards, or even if it's towards yourself or whatever it is. The point is of abuse. It is simplistic. And, you know, I mean, people are so disconnected from their reality and each other that I'm sure some people will look at that and go, that's crazy. You know, those people are just inherently evil. Just because everybody else in the world stops their abuse doesn't mean those people are... Well, actually, it does. Because everybody's collective existing within this way, in essence, within and as abuse, as abusers, to some form or to some extent, is directly manifesting situations like this. I mean, it's the same thing as, you know, everybody in this world having violent thoughts. And, you know, sure, most people don't act on them, but then one person, you know, goes out and murders somebody. And we're surprised? And, you know, and we blame this person only? You know, I mean... So that's really all I have to say, you know, is just that if you'd like to see abuse in your world stop, this is where you start. And the only tool that you actually required to be equipped with within this battle against abuse, within this war on abuse, is self-honesty. It's the only tool you require. And of course, self-forgiveness, of course. Right. Thanks.